Hello and welcome to the Brewers versus Cubs breakdown of the first series against the Cubs. And boy, was it a good one! If you were watching at all this week, I'd have to believe so. If you're a Brewers or Cubs fan, or even just baseball fans in general, so we'll start breaking it down. Game one, we got Shota Imanaga versus Brandon Sproat. Yelich gets us on the board real early with a no doubter home run to right field, and it felt real good to watch Yelich do that. He did Yelich in back-to-back homers, back-to-back games with a homer at that point. So that was pretty neat. But after that, it was kind of just like a little back and forth in there, and then it wasn't back until the fourth inning when the Brewers scored once again. Jake Bauers singled on a ground ball, scored Andrew Vaughn. And then we just kind of kept piling on from there. The fourth inning, I think, is when it kind of just unraveled on him a little bit. Yeah, he scored 3. So you got Frelick doubled off to left field or whatever. That was the one that was deep in left field. He was really late on the thing. But, hey, if it hits in the foul pole, that's all that matters in the end, right? Or inside foul territory, not hit the foul pole. That was really good. That was really good at bat from Frelick. I'm really liking Frelick's at bats as of recent. I think there have been a lot better than they have in the past a little bit here. Churio then singled another run in, so all of a sudden it's 5-0 Brewers after Imanaga who's having a really good year. I mean, he still is and stuff like that. This is kind of just like one of his weirder outings where he kind of struggled. So, yeah. From there, I mean, it's kind of snowballs a little bit. It's like Bauers hits a 3-run homer in the very next inning, and as he continues his red-hot hitting streak, my goodness, Jake Bauers has been doing so good. Bottom of the fifth, the Cubs will get a little bit back with Dansby Swanson hitting a 2-run homer, and then Bush doubling off the ball, doubling in front of Churio there. I guess would be off the wall, but that'd be it. It's like Yelich hits a little bloop double or whatever that scores Terang, and then Sproat didn't quite go 5, but he really wanted to try and get that last out. But at the time, there was a couple guys on. It was still only 5, or was it 4? No, it's just like he's throwing a lot of pitches. He was trying to struggle with his command. You didn't want to get the Cubs back into it. I understood why Murphy did it. You could tell that Sproat really wanted to get at least one more out so that he was eligible for the save. But it's another 2-man game for the pitching. The pitching between Brandon Sproat and Shane Drowan. I don't know what it is with the Brewers and Murph wanting to do these 2-man games here, but man, it works between Drowan, Patrick. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's like one of these moments where it's like, oh, you in the past when you kind of see your starter go like not quite 5, like yeah, 5's fine, but you want probably a little bit more from him, but Brewers just make it work. I mean, you just put in basically another starter with Drowan and Patrick, and you just, yeah. So I don't know. It's just like it works. It's been working. This is like what, the third time I've seen this happen where it's kind of just a 2-man game. I mean, the score was in a nice spot where you could do that. Because like, I mean, I guess Murph did it with the Twins game, but like that was the 2-1 game where Patrick just finished it out. So just ride in the hands that need that, he thinks that is right there. And I kind of agree. But yeah, it's final score of 9-3. It's a really good game. It was a really good game. Bauers, obviously, I mean, you're going to hear me say Jake Bauers' name a lot if you didn't already know in this one. But overall, the team played extremely well. Lineup did what it needed to do. We got Imanaga out after 4. Yeah, it was 5th inning. We took him out after he gave up all those runs, and then Roberts came in after that. So really, I mean, like I never at any point where the Cubs like even like in striking distance. I guess like the first couple innings, yeah, but like, I don't know. All I know is I remember seeing that first inning where Imanaga kind of just ran through Churio, Terang, and Contreras, and I was just like, oh boy, it's gonna be one of those days. And then Yelly hits, just really gets into one, and that was good. It was good. I think that kind of set the tone. Set the tone for what was going to happen and everything like that, and then everything just kind of snowballed from there. It's just, classic Brewers baseball where you just, one guy takes it, next guy, next guy takes the bat or whatever, and you just keep going. You just keep passing the ball down, keep passing the bat down, and everything like that. So that's game one. Game two, I mean, kind of very similar in all honesty. It's like Brewers get on the board early. I was getting ahead of myself. We got Jacob Mizorowski versus Ben Brown. Miz was looking to deal once again, and boy, did he. But first off, before he even takes the mound, Garrett Mitchell gets us on the board with an RBI single into right field, and that scored. So we get up 1-0 very early on. And then Miz gets in a bit of trouble in the first inning. Walks a guy, and then Hamilton couldn't quite handle a ball to very hard hit to shortstop. Kind of goes off his glove and stuff like that. And I think that was with only one out, or maybe there was nobody out at the time. So it's always like it's kind of what that I think it was Levering and Dillard kind of brought up in the game itself. It's like you'd see innings like that from Mizorowski last year, where it's like a walk, guy gets on base via an error, and you kind of see Mizorowski kind of, I don't know, trying to throw too hard or be too perfect, try and limit, contact, I guess. And it's just like Miz is just doing what I don't know. He's figured it out. He's kind of, I don't know if he's locked in a little bit more or if it's just trusting his stuff a bit more, trusting the defense behind him a bit more. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but it's really cool that he's kind of just feels comfortable a little bit with runners and scoring or runners on, and that was basically it. Nobody else for the Cubs even remotely touched second base when Miz was on the mound, so he dominated. So, but yeah. So you kind of get through a rough first inning, but after that, I mean, Miz settles in and everything like that. You get a couple more runs from Jake Bauers again, who singled on a line drive to right field. So goes up 3-0, and then it kind of just stayed 3-0 for a while there, and it was just kind of like it was kind of had that feel where it's like, I mean, 3-0 is it's fine. You got some runs to work with or whatever. Miz is dealing, and then it was the eighth inning comes around. It was like top of the eighth inning. We're like, the Brewers had opportunities to push through runs or whatever, and they just didn't do it. I mean, we went 4 for 16 with runners in scoring position. That's not great. And for a while there, I think it was like 3 out of 15. Mainly because the next hit that comes in was Bryce Trang hitting a homer to was left center field. Just got into that basket or whatever, and you could tell PCA really wanted to jump for that ball, but he was like, nope, can't steal that even if I wanted to. I ain't gonna look like a damn fool again. So, but yeah, that was huge because it put us up 5-2 at that, or 5-0 at that point. Because then in the bottom of the eighth, Ashby kind of struggled with a little bit of command, walked some guys, got a couple of strikeouts, but for the most part, it was like you could tell he was just really struggling with command of his stuff or whatever. The Cubs feeling like they're getting back in it. He got, it was like Rengifo couldn't handle a sharp ground ball. They originally called it an error, but I believe they called this a single, which scored a run. So. And then you're thinking like, oh boy, here's where it kind of unravels. Chad Patrick comes in and shuts the door, leaves them bases loaded, and it was just like, whoo. Didn't do anything in that ninth inning, but we handed the ball off to Abner Uribe, who shut the door. Baby, let's go. So Brewers win and score of 5-2. Really, probably could have been 5-0 if Ashby had been on point as he had been. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes it's just like guys can just sometimes feel it or whatever. It just kind of felt like Ashby didn't have his best stuff. Maybe it was too many days off. It's kind of weird to say, but also kind of true. For the most part, I mean, like, everyone just had a solid game. I mean, like I said, Jake Bauers, big RBI single in like the third inning, I believe it was. Yeah. Yeah, because you got a RBI single from him, and then Trios scored on a wild pitch, right? So yeah, I mean, there's just a solid game. Mizorowski looked amazing. He's so good. He throws so hard, so good. He only threw 6 innings as opposed to his like 7 that he's been doing. Velo is a little down than it used to. It's not like that much of a difference. 101 to 99 is really not that much of a difference. He's throwing hard and he's dotting the pitches or whatever. And maybe, it was kind of like they were saying, it's like maybe a bit, feeling a bit of fatigue, throwing some extra innings, throwing a lot more innings than he's, or whatever, going deeper into games than he had prior to it. He's thrown a lot of innings, and when you're effective and stuff like that, and you're very efficient with your pitches, you can go deeper in games, but you also worry about the fatigue, especially for a young pitcher, especially for a guy who throws 101, 102, even still into the 6th inning, and you're just like, damn. All right, so that was something. It was really funny also in the 8th inning when it's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna pinch hit Belisario is gonna come out of the game, Matt Shaw is gonna come in the game. Oh well, now we're gonna take out Ashby. Oh well, now we're gonna pinch hit Shaw for Michael Conforto. And it was just like, wow, Shaw got into the game, didn't even see a pitch, and it was just like, ooh. It's always funny. When it comes down to it, it's like I look at this lineup and it's like, yeah, there's a few guys that kind of hurt us all series or whatever. It's like Horner, obviously, he's been a royal pain in the butt, but I mean he's a contact hitter. He's best top of the lineup. He's good. Suzuki's always been killing us, especially when you got lefties on the mound. I think he was one of the few guys that actually had hit off of Miz. So, but I'm glad that the bullpen actually got it done, unlike the last time Miz pitched against the Padres. So, luckily we got a little bit of extra run support. Terang solidified himself as, again, one of the best second basemen, if not the best second baseman in baseball, with that clutch homer, couple hits. I mean, he had 3 hits in the game, walked, he got on base 4 times, and the only time he didn't was when he struck out. I mean, the guy's good. He's good. You didn't already know that Bryce Terang's good, but I'm sure you did if you're watching this. So yeah, that was game 2. Game 3 was complete and utter domination by Kyle Harrison, and it was awesome to watch. So the game started out fairly simple or whatever. It's just like Kyle Harrison kind of struggled a little bit in the first inning, gave up a double off of Horner. Luckily, Garrett Mitchell was able to do a laser throw to get Horner at third base. And I think kind of at that point, Harrison settled in. He realized as well that he's like, oh, I can give up a little bit in the air because of the way the wind's blowing today, because it was blowing in for game 3. So he didn't have to worry about the ball flying out this time. So I think he adjusted to that very well, and I mean he threw his 2-pitch arsenal basically. It's like he threw a fastball and he threw his slurve, and it was effective all night long. It just was. It was crazy. Just to watch as to watch the Cubs just completely and utterly guess, and then between the Cubs guessing at the plate, their defense didn't help them as PCA let a ball go right under his glove. Hamilton was going to just take a single, and then he realized the ball went underneath PCA's glove, and he motored. Oh my God, can that guy fly? Holy. It was wild. So, Hamilton had a hell of a game. It was like he had 3 hits, a couple singles, and not even bunt singles, just actual singles. And obviously the inside the Parker, that was Little League one because it was an error on PCA. So, but either way, second inning you go up 3-0 because of that, and that's a huge error, and not one you see from PCA all that much. So you take those gifts when you get them. And then it's just kind of from there, it's like Bowers gave us another run in the 3rd inning or whatever. Great, and another clutch hit right when we needed it to, especially when it was like Yelich, I think, had struck out. Right? Or was it? I don't remember. Maybe it was Mitchell. One of the two. It was like we had a guy at 3rd. I think Contreras was on 3rd. And then We need to make some contact, and we ended up striking out. And I'm like, oh man, we're gonna spoil this run again or whatever. It's gonna feel like yesterday's game where it's gonna be like, I mean, 3-0 is still fine, especially the way the wind's blowing. You're not worried about homers and stuff like that necessarily. Churio almost did hit a homer though, and then with that wind blowing out, which is crazy. But yeah, I didn't. Seventh inning, Hamilton hits the triple that kind of hits like. I don't know what happened to Suzuki there. He was tracking the ball while going off to left field. I couldn't tell if he was like thinking he was going to hit the wall and he was trying to brace himself, or if like going from the sun to the shade or the lights to the shade just really affected him. But it feels like or the ball just completely snuck up on him. I don't know, but it's like it felt like a, I don't know, routine. I mean, he still had to go a fair distance. So like that, it was crushed. Unfortunately, the wind kept it in play, or kept it in. I think it was going to be a homer had the wind not been blowing in like that. But I mean, he's like, he hits Suzuki in the chest, kind of goes off, and I'm thinking, oh my God, Hamilton's going to actually have another inside the Parker, whether it was Little League or not, or whatever. They didn't send him at third. They let off the inning, so it was late off the inning. I don't remember. It was like 1 out or something like that, and so it was like the very next pitch, I think, or maybe that was like 2 or 3 pitches later. Maton throws a wild pitch and Hamilton scores, and just like, man, that was rough. And I was like, and I was really concerned. I was like, oh man, Edward Cabrera is the first time really the Brewers have seen him on the Cubs. I mean, I think we definitely faced him last year when we was on the Marlins. I remember that. But he actually left the game early. What was that, in the 4th inning, right? He only went 3. I think he threw 1 pitch in the 4th inning, and then reported that it was blisters and stuff like that he was having on his hand. I mean, yeah, like it was domination, like, by Harrison. I mean, he's been so good, so unbelievably good. And like, just like in this game completely sold me on like why, like, the trade with the Red Sox for that, where we gave them Durbin, Siegler, and Monasterio, and we got back Harrison and was it Harrison, Hamilton? Was there another player, or was that just the 2? I don't remember. Pretty sure it was just those 2. So, was just good. I mean, yeah, Hamilton's not been the greatest hitter of all time. I mean, he's the king of bunt singles. That's for damn sure. Plays a pretty solid third base. He's not the best defensively, but yeah, he gets the job done a lot of times. I hear people say it's like, oh man, the guy can't hit, the guy can't field, and I'm sitting here going just like, I don't know, he's making plays, man. He's had a few errors here or there, and you know, balls he knows he probably should get or whatever. He's trying. It can be hard. Sometimes the ball takes a wicked bounce or whatever. Sometimes, you know, this is his first year playing third base. I think he played mostly shortstop, second base for the Red Sox, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I mean, Hamilton shows exactly why he's in the lineup and why Murph loves him so much. He's just like, gets bunts down. He's so fast that it's just like, just having him on the base pads, whether it's, you know, pinch run maybe later in the game, or and just dropping down a bunt or whatever. And then if you can get any extra like normal hits off of him, great. And like, it's good. So it's just like, he just causes so much havoc on the base pads or whatever, and just like really puts the pressure on the pitchers to, if they want to keep him close, they're going to have to really keep an eye on him, and catchers are going to have to make like a very pinpoint throw. So I'm not saying Hamilton's the best, but he's been better than I think a lot of people will give him credit for. But I mean, yeah, the main piece for the Red Sox trade was for Kyle Harrison, and boy, has it worked out extremely well. So to this point, he's 5-1. I think the Brewers have won 6 or 7 straight outings from Harrison. So, and I mean, there was, after that first inning, no one even touched second base. Like it says here that the Cubs were 0-for-1 with teams with runners in scoring position. Nobody was on second base past Horner in the first inning. That's it. That was it. Like, That's wild. Like this is a good lineup and stuff like that. It's like you look at like leaving Horner just to the one hit, pretty much and stuff like that. And then Bregman, I think got like a bloop single later on in the game, but that was like first time. Happ struck out 3 times, and the fact is because guys just weren't getting on base. Harrison walked one guy, right? Yeah. I don't remember who it was. I can't remember if it was Suzuki or if it was Bush. I think it was Suzuki because I think Bush later walked from Hall. And it was just like, yeah, like guys aren't getting a lot of times to get in there or whatever. Only Horner and Bregman are the ones that are the only guys that got 3 or 4 at bats, top of the lineup. So, yeah. And so that's a sweep. I was very reluctant to call this a sweep. I thought for sure that the Cubs would take at least one of these games, but they didn't. And the offense really floundered for them. It's like we held them to 5 combined runs at home at Wrigley Field. And like for like 2 of those days, like the wind was blowing out. So the fact is, like, I think it was because it was like it was only game 1. I mean, there was only one homer hit and that was by Swanson in game 1, and that was the 9 to I was like 8. Yeah, it was like 8-0 at that point. So it's like, yeah, it got him on the board, but you're still down 6 runs. So it's like never really in it by that point. I mean, it helps when you guys have you got your better pitchers. You got your main guys, Mizorowski and Harrison going. And Sproat's look great. He has those blow up innings. It's kind of like what happened with Miz last year. It's like he struggled to get out of innings at times. He did. And so it was just like you could tell like the blow up inning kind of happened. Trying to limit damage can be a little bit hard. Getting guys out when they are when they're struggling when the other team's just hitting, it's difficult, and it takes sort of like understanding how you need to pitch and type thing, and whether that's trusting your catcher. And for the Brewers, I mean, trusting Contreras or Gary Sanchez. I mean, Contreras is going to be the main guy back there, but if Gary's in there for a game or 2, it happens. Either way, I mean, both of them are very experienced catchers that have worked with these guys for the entirety of the time. So it's like they know what they want and they know what they should throw. You just got to trust them, and you got to trust your defense behind you, and just make some pitches and avoid some barrels and stuff like that. And that's kind of what they did or whatever. And that's what Sproat kind of needs to do. Is I think sometimes when he hits that blow up inning, guys are starting to make contact. Maybe his command's not quite as good. He's walking some guys. It's like he just needs to go, all right, trust my guys behind me, and we're gonna get it going, because that's what Miz has kind of done so far this year. It's that he just kind of takes an extra breath, kind of calms down. I mean, I cannot stress enough the job that William Contreras does behind the plate to work these guys through outing after outing after outing after outing, and stuff like that. When you have a young pitching core like this, like Miz, Harrison, Sproat, and it's like, and even like Gasser, and think of the other starter. Henderson. Dummy. Of course. So it's like, and Henderson, it was just like, these are all young pitchers that are like, not a ton of experience. Like, yeah, Henderson made a good amount of starts. Mizorowski made a good amount of starts last year and stuff like that. And they're leaning on that experience, but like guys for like Sproat, who only made like, was it 4 starts for the Mets or something like that? He's got a little bit more growing to do. Harrison's been in the league for a couple of years between Red Sox and Giants. So, but I mean, this is the first year that he's really seeing a lot of success, especially success to this point. So, and he's just kind of trusting his stuff. Maybe that's the few years that he has to lean on to. All the changes or whatever. It's like, I mean, I've seen multiple things of like why Harrison's so effective this year. It's like, instead of having him on the right side, like third base side of the pitcher's mound, they have him on the left side of the pitcher's mound, or first base side of the pitcher's mound, and that kind of hides and makes his arm angle the same as his slurve. So his fastball and his slurve are coming out of the same arm angle, which makes it incredibly hard to tell which pitch is coming because the spin almost probably looks identical. And like it's why you see some guys just really swing over that slurve, and why it's so effective. I mean, when he's just dotting fastballs, I mean it's crazy. I mean, it's something. I can't tell who's more fun to watch, honestly. Is it Mizrowski or is it Sprout? It's probably Miz just because it's cool to see you 101, 102 in like the 5th inning, 6th inning, or whatever. I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine who was, I was like, we both kind of joked, but it's like Mizrowski kind of feels like, at least so far this year, if Jacob deGrom actually got run support. I don't know. That's just me. Like a young Jacob deGrom that it's just like actually got run support. I mean, like he got, was it like 3 runs, right? Yeah, he got 3 runs to work with or whatever. So it wasn't until the 8th inning where they scored again. And by that point, I think McGill was in. By the way, McGill and Uribe looked a little. No, it wasn't shaky. Who was that thinking? It was Ashby. Dummy. I already talked about that. It's like Ashby looked a little shaky, but he'll be fine. He's just not used to having that many days off. With the way the starters are going, it's like you want to keep the bullpen arms, going and stuff like that. You want to give them work, but when Miz is absolutely dealing, when Harrison's absolutely dealing and stuff like that, and the score is 8-0, when Sproat comes out, it's like, well, I'm just gonna stick with Drowan. So it's like, where do the bullpen guys come in? I don't know. It's like you're winning games, and you're winning games. I don't know, not easily, but like not really that too concerned. I mean, there's just so many good arms in that bullpen and stuff like that. I mean, whether it's Ashby, Hall, McGill, Patrick, because I feel like Patrick's just going to be a bullpen arm. He's going to be a bulk guy. Like him and Drowan, I feel like have kind of solidified themselves as kind of like this, like almost second, third starters that Murph can kind of lean onto if like, pitcher gets hurt or maybe gets, hit up a little bit or something like that. Or, I mean, even if the game just kind of goes to like, 8-0 or whatever, it's like, well, we're not going to use our big bullpen arms, and we're not going to use all these, we're not going to use like, I mean, these are outings that you'd see like Woodford or like, I don't think he's in the majors anymore, but that Fitzpatrick and stuff like that, like guys that are like trying to prove themselves, or maybe not our best bullpen arms, but they eat innings and stuff like that, and that's kind of been taken up by Hall, Ashby, I mean, Drowan and Patrick and stuff like that. So it's like, it's same thing with like Grant Anderson. It's like it's like I feel like Anderson pitched that one game against the Twins, and again he didn't pitch at all in this Cubs series. So it's like those guys are probably going to have a lot of dips in innings and stuff like that. And like the fact is that we put in McGill and Uribe just to get some work. I mean, the Cubs did the same thing with Palencia in Game 3. He pitched the 9th inning after, what was it? Rolison gets 1 out or whatever, and then Palencia comes in just to get him some work. It's kind of crazy because I thought like, oh, day off tomorrow. It's like we'll just have him pitch Friday, and I guess they just wanted to get him some work today with the day off today. Because I'm recording this on Thursday. Probably put it out Friday, but just before the Dodgers series. Speaking of Dodgers series, that is what we have next. Big series for here. This is a big week for the Brewers when it comes to the games that they have scheduled. Obviously, the opponents they have is like the Cubs. You took care of the Cubs. Now let's look forward to the Dodgers series. So we got Dodgers at home, so that helps. We'll be at home. Friday night will be Warbleski versus Harrison. I think Warbleski's been having a really, really good year. Excuse me. Yeah, 2.12, 2.49 ERA, 6-1 and 7 starts technically. It says 8 games and 7 starts. He's been real good, so that'll be interesting. Henderson, who's been pitching pretty good. So we will See what we get from there. Henderson against this lineup is going to be very interesting. It's like I think Betts is back, so that's pretty big for the Dodgers at the moment. Luckily, we're going to be missing Ohtani because he pitched in yesterday's game, so aka will we not see him as a pitcher, but we will see him as a hitter because of course we are. This is going to be an interesting series overall. It's like the Dodger series, and it's always a big one. Both teams, I mean, Dodgers are sitting 31-19. Brewers are 29-18. Two of the better teams in the NL whatever. If you, I think these are me personally. I look at the three teams that are probably going to win their divisions are the Dodgers, Brewers, and Braves. I think they're by far the clear favorites. They've been showing that each of those teams has been showing that they're the best in their respective divisions. So I don't think that's anything crazy. So seeing two division leaders and potentially winners, this long season. I mean, the Padres are also right there in the NL West, so you can't discount them. It's going to be interesting. So obviously, Warblesky versus Henderson. In Game 1, we got Rohit Sasaki versus Robert Gasser. In Game 2, I'm really hoping Gasser has a much better outing. I hope it was just kind of some, first game back jitters for Gasser, because while he didn't give up that many runs, at least not at the start, he did struggle with his command and loaded the bases. So we're going to hope that doesn't happen. So, yeah. So Sasaki, I think he's having a bit. Yeah, I mean, it says he's got a 2-3 record with a 5.09 ERA. I'm really hoping that his struggles will kind of continue being at AmFam Field. And then we got Yoshinobu Yamamoto versus Brennan Sproat. So that will be an interesting one. All I know is that if we're facing Yamamoto, we got our secret weapon in Andrew Vaughn, baby. Let's go. Wouldn't it be crazy if Vaughn hits another 3-run homer off of Yamamoto in a big spot? That'd be crazy. I know I recently saw the Yankees, the Dodgers have been doing pretty well, but I saw something, I think it was last night, that apparently the Dodgers bullpen has not given up a run in like 24 straight innings or something like that. So their bullpens have been a little bit locked down at the moment. So that tells me that we're either going to need to get to the starters, or the Brewers are going to do Brewer things where they just continue to hit pitchers that maybe they shouldn't, or ones that are having extremely good seasons so far. I mean, even Naga was partially that. I mean, he had like a 2 ERA coming into it or something like that. 3. He's been good. He's been good for them. And then he just gives up. He gets shelled for 8 runs. So I'm kind of hoping the Brewers will be able to do that against, Yamamoto or Warblesky. Warblesky more likely, but crazy. But I mean, luckily, no Blake Snell, no Glass now, which is kind of nice. Or whatever. I almost do kind of wish we would face them though, because I feel like I don't want this to be like last year's. Like when we faced the Dodgers in the NLCS, I mean, we looked completely like we were just out of our element and stuff like that. And that's why I was like, it's almost nice to face these pitchers that you're going to be facing in the postseason, like Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow and stuff like that, to get that experience, to see them, so that way when you see them in the postseason, you're not seeing them for the very first time. Maybe that's just me, but guys are hurt, so you can't. They're not going to be there as of right now. So I don't know, favor and not favorable on that one. In my mind, I would personally rather see them in the regular season, so that way when we see them in the postseason, because I'm hoping we're going to see them in the postseason, the NLCS again, and hopefully beat them this time. Fingers crossed. So. Yeah. Anyway, again, but yeah, this Dodger series is gonna be big. It's gonna be big, and you can continue to win, just put more more distance between you and the Cubs. Hopefully, I don't remember who the Cubs were facing after. I know I looked it up long ago. They got Astros. Okay, Astros at Wrigley. Okay, that's fine. I mean, what am I gonna do about it? Nothing. Can't do anything about it. So, yeah, it's like you took what you flip flop the standings. You got a 1.5 game lead, or is it a half game lead or something like that for the Brewers right now. Obviously, you can see the right over here for the Brewers. Right. Finger, please. There you go. Look at that, Brewers on top, and then you got the stinky Cubs, and then the Cardinals. Ooh, we actually face after the Dodgers, so it'll be interesting. No Mizrowski versus Ohtani, like I think we were all kind of hoping for with the Dodgers series. Shit happens. Didn't line up. We'll face Dodgers. Some point later on in the season. It'll be at Dodger Stadium. Maybe then we'll get it. So is that. Overall takeaways, I guess I kind of just skipped past it because I was like I had a good segue into the Dodger series. I mean, the Brewers played the lights out against the Cubs. I mean, what more is there to say? I kind of went over it already, but I just want to point out how good Jake Bauers has been. Oh my goodness. You cannot leave this guy out of the lineup anymore. I mean, Murph's obviously like needing to put him in. And because of that, Vaughn's not getting as much playing time or whatever. You know, and especially because like now that with guys healthy again, it's, Yelich is going to take the DH spot. You're going to have, not going to take Chourio out of the lineup. If anyone's coming out of the lineup, it's going to be Mitchell, which means Chourio is going to have to play center field, which is what happened in game 1, is that Bauers ended up playing left. Chourio was in center and Frelick in right. That was the outfield. And overall, I mean, like it was just like it was just good. I mean, Bauers was so good. 3-run homer when we really needed it there to really separate ourselves from the Cubs. I mean, we didn't. Yeah, it was like you have 5-0. You feel confident about that, but then it's just like really just bury him. So from there, I think we got some better at bats from Sal. That was really good. That was really good to see. And I mean, Ortiz's at bats have been a lot better as of recent, so I gotta give him that. So I feel like especially like the bottom of our order has been hitting a lot better. They've been getting on base a lot more for our guys at the top of the lineup with Chourio and Terang and Contreras. So, and that's exactly what we need. And like as we continue to like with Chourio getting, really starting to get into the season and stuff like that, you could see his power stroke coming back. You saw the home run that he hit in Minnesota or whatever. It's like, and then he had some really good swings. Like I said, Chourio had a basic. I mean, it would have been a home run had the wind not been blowing in last, like in that game 3 or whatever. That would have been a home run. So, and that was an Oppo Taco, and he almost still did it. That was crazy. So his power stroke's coming back. Terang continues to be Bryce Terang, and awesome. Trez does what he does, gets on base and gets some runs, stuff like that. Yelich, and same thing with Yelich. I mean, he's not quite midseason form yet, and he just came back from his whole groin and back scenario or whatever. And I'm hoping that back will continue to not be a problem for him. So I'm hoping that'll be the case. And if he needs to sit down a little bit more, then I guess that opens up the DH spot for Vaughn to play, or and then Bauers can play first base, and we can have Mitchell out in center again. Or I wouldn't be surprised if there's some days where Bauers doesn't quite start a game against a lefty, Vaughn starts, and then you get Gary Sanchez in his DH, so on and so forth. I mean, the team is looking like it was intended, which is exactly what you were hoping for. The lineup looks exactly how it should have been, instead of all the injuries and guys having to play in weird positions like just batting weird spots or whatever, and they made it work, but it was like you couldn't sustain that success, or you wouldn't win in this rate that they kind of been doing. So guys slotting in where they're supposed to. That's good. That's good. Little concerned still with third base. Rengifo still not looked the greatest. Probably figure something out there. I mean, maybe Hamilton will just take some more, swings at third base or whatever. I'd have to believe so. I mean, like, because Rengifo played, he played in second game, went 0 for 4. Yeah, it's like, just need a bit more production from him. Hamilton obviously had the big game in game 3. But, yeah. I mean, that's the kind of game that I feel like we need Hamilton for. It's like, we don't, we're not expecting him to hit like that all the time, but it's like a couple of hits here or there, get on base, maybe draw a walk, bunt, whatever. Teams are, I mean, even when teams expect the bunt, they still can't defend against it because he's so good at like dropping it down, and then he's just so fast. He's just so fast. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. Lineup's looking better. Guys are taking better swings. Ortiz is taking better swings. Might not be the greatest swings of all times, but he's taking better ones. Or whatever. Hamilton looked, pretty good. I think. What did he do in game 2? And 3, got a hit. Can't remember if it was a single, if it was a bunt single or not, but I don't think it was. I think it was like a legit single. So, yeah. I mean, he'll just be a tool, kind of like I talked about earlier, and now I'm kind of just rambling. Overall, you take a series and you go, all right, when they come to AmFam Field next, I'm not sure when, let's just do it again. So let's just do it again. So right now, looking at the Dodger series, let's try and take at least 2 out of 3 against Dodger series to feel really good about this. There's probably any game that I feel like you're definitely going to drop. I feel like it'll be the Yamamoto game, but you never know, man. You never do know. That's what I love. That's what I love about this team. Is like some days where it feels like they're really getting shut down or something like that. They ended up just pulling it out, and you're just like, how? It's because Brewers doing Brewer things. What can I say? So, yeah. I'll stop rambling now for now. Thank y'all so much for watching the Cubs Series 1 wrap up, and looking forward to the Dodger series. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you kind of like this or whatever. You like me just kind of rambling on about it. Kind of some sort of takeaways. I mean, this was pretty simple takeaway overall. It was just kind of domination, so it feels real good when you look at that. When you look at the standings and you go, Brewers on top, yeah, baby. And the Cubs getting really salty about it, and always living rent free in their head with with Green Bay. The Green Bay Packers and everything like that is really funny. It's like, Green Bay sucks. Who cares? Anyway, I will see y'all next time. Try and be back on, I'll probably see that on Sunday or Monday. Probably Sunday, I'll try and get it out of the Dodger series recap. But until then, let's go get them Dodgers. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.